Axl is Grounded 2's most brutal test yet. 4 phases, raid mechanics, one-hit KO attacks, and an arena crawling with chaos. But here's the truth, learn his tricks and he's yours. Stick with me and I'll break him down step by step, plus show you the build that turns this monster to mulch. On paper, Axl's stacked with resistances. Stabbing, fresh, explosive, venom. He shrugs it all off. To top it off, he's got no weaknesses. But none of that matters, because he does have a weak point. His wound on the back takes 4 times damage. That's the only thing we care about. We'll focus on exploiting that wound, and later I'll show you the exact setup that makes this fight a cakewalk. So now that we know where to hit, let's step into the arena and see exactly how Axl tests you. Phase 1 kicks off with Axl leaping into the center of the arena. He's got 7 moves in this phase, all slow and readable. Nothing you can't counter once you know the tells. The left or right stomp. He lifts the front leg and slams it down. Heavy damage and unblockable. You have to dodge. His bite, a slow single bite with a clear windup. Perfect block it and keep the pressure on. 3-hit combo. Similar to the Orb Weaver but slower. Each bite deals moderate damage, but it's easily blockable. Perfect blocks not only stomp the damage, they build stun faster, something my build's gonna exploit fully. Walking stomps. Low chip damage if he steps on you. It's designed to counter your bandages. Bandages don't cut it here. It's time to learn why smoothies are your friend. Escape jump. He jumps away to reposition. Harmless in phase 1, just chase and stay aggressive. The back buck. If you linger on his back after he's unstunned, he'll start violently bucking you off. That back buck is chaos incarnate. Get greedy here and you'll pay. As he starts getting up, only go for 2 to 3 hits more, then dodge sideways and get some distance from him. The Roar. At 77.5% health, Axl enters phase 2. The Roar itself doesn't hurt, but it does stun you and your buggy. Phase 1 is straightforward. Stick close, stay aggressive, and focus on building his stun gauge through perfect blocks and consistent damage with high stun weapons. Remember, you do 75% less damage except on his weak point, so prioritize stun over raw hits. Once he's down, jump onto his back and focus on his open wound. 2 or 3 hits is safe as he stands up, but stay on any longer and the back buck attack will punish you hard. Phase 1's done, easy. If you stuck with me, you've seen his tells, you've felt the pressure, but we're only getting warmed up. Now let's see how Axl turns up the heat in phase 2. At 77.5% HP, Axl roars, locking you and your buggy in place, and his attacks begin to evolve. Most of what you've already seen returns, but with new twists that demand a little more focus. It's still pretty easy, but you can't afford to get lazy here. This phase always starts up with Axl burrowing away. He'll reappear at one of the random web burrows on the outer perimeter of the arena. Once he's out, he unleashes his new attack, the Venom Hair Wave. This is Axl's new long-range ability. He usually jumps away to wind this up, then releases a steady wave of toxic hair bristles across the arena. To counter this, either sidestep the whole wave or dodge through it. Just make sure you dodge early or you'll get slapped with 50 venom buildup and heavy damage. The best practical play, when you see him jump away, call your buggy and move horizontally across the arena. Running with the buggy avoids the wave reliably and keeps you mobile. The 4-hit combo, an evolution of his 3-hit combo. Same rhythm as phase 1's, but now it ends with one of 2 finishers. The double foot stomp. Heavy damage, must be dodged because it's unblockable. Sidestep the stomp and punish on his recovery. Or he finishes with a heavy bite. This one can be blocked. If you see the bite wind up, meet it with a perfect block to continue laying on the stun. Treat this combo as a stun building opportunity. Perfect blocks here are high value. The rest of his moves are ones he retains from phase 1. His stomps, escape jump, walking stomps, and back buck are still in play, same as phase 1. Continue to perfect block and punish. Perfect blocks add a lot of stun and remain a primary way to put him down fast. Now a quick reality check. I've seen clips circulating where Axl gets shredded to phase 3 in a single down. That can happen, but it's taken out of context. What they don't tell you is that they got extremely lucky with several back-to-back crits. And at the very end, they show they use the Axl head trophy for 15% more damage. There's nothing wrong with that. That's great for a speedrun, but that's not consistent with the typical experience. Here's the thing with the higher difficulties. Axl has substantially more health, and your damage output is greatly lowered. That miracle clip is technically possible, but it's lottery odds. What most players will actually experience is a fight where you need to stay aggressive, keep stacking stun through perfect blocks, and focus your damage on his wound, cause that's the only consistent way to break him down. Watch for him to jump away, that's your cue to call your buggy and begin running horizontally for the Venom hair wave. Depending on your DPS, expect to down Axl 2 or 3 times in phase 2 before you push him into his next phase. You have to bring him all the way down to 18.5% HP to trigger the next transition. Phase 2's down, and now the gloves are off. Axl's patterns start to unravel. His attacks get faster, nastier, and harder to predict. This is where the fight stops being controlled and turns into survival. Phase 3 is chaos. You gotta stay sharp if you want to see the end. Phase 3 kicks off the moment Axl burrows after his roar. This part isn't a typical fight. Now it's all about raid mechanics and survival. The arena starts spitting out caterpillars, and Axl's goal is to go hungry hippo on their asses to heal. Like seriously, it's actually called that in the game files. Your goal? Stop him, or at least minimize the health regen. The Den Pounce. This is the one and only real attack from Axl in this phase. Anytime Axl goes for the caterpillars, you'll see his glowing eyes and faint sound cues. This attack will instantly down anything in its path. Enemy bugs, your buggy, allies, even you. Thankfully for the player, it's actually programmed to leave you guys at 1 HP. Once the caterpillars are all down, he'll begin attacking anything that walks in front of the den. Your counter? See the eyes, get out of the way fast. Blink and you're dead. Timing is everything here. This phase is all about caterpillar management. 4 caterpillars spawn on the arena perimeter next to the 4 web burrows. Any eaten by Axl restores 25 HP. The more he gets, the harder phase 4 is gonna be. Your priority? Hop on your buggy, pop a sticky Scorpidote smoothie for venom resistance, and hit the nearest caterpillar. Use the Orb Weaver's impact for heavy damage, then finish it with a couple swift blows. Rinse and repeat for the rest. Also, feel free to use a bow with some strong arrows if you prefer ranged. Keep moving. Watch carefully for Axl's glowing eyes at any of the burrows. It's completely random which caterpillar he goes for, so stay on your toes. After 2 caterpillars are handled, things start to get chaotic. Waves of additional bugs fall from the branches. An adult northern scorpion, scorpion juniors, scorplings, roaches, and their nymphs. Don't stop. Prioritize survival in the caterpillars. That sticky Scorpidote keeps venom manageable, so use mobility to your advantage. Axl no longer reappears, initiating phase 4 until every enemy is killed. Kite groups of enemies to a den. Watch for Axl's glowing eyes, then book it out of there, letting Axl do all our dirty work for us. Phase 3 is all about staying sharp, reading Axl's tells, and moving fast to take out as many caterpillars as possible. Miss a cue and that Den Pounce will leave you on the brink. Take control of the caterpillars, kite the ads to the dens, and be careful to avoid the pounce, and you'll hit phase 4 ahead of the curve. Now let's finish this clown on 8 legs. Phase 4 hits hard. This is where Axl finally shows what he's capable of. Increased aggression, 10% more damage, faster attacks, venom buildup on almost every attack, and absolutely no room for mistakes. Every moment counts. A single hit can overwhelm you if you're not paying attention. This phase always starts with Axl using his new attack, a bulldozer charge. Axl telegraphs this by flattening his front legs horizontally before charging in a straight line. Quickly dash to the side to sidestep this devastating attack, or if you're feeling lucky, you can try dodging through. Best tip is to dodge into him. Axl retains most of the moves from his previous phases, but they've evolved even further. The 4-hit combo is now faster, with each hit adding 50 venom buildup. The finisher is always the parryable heavy bite though. The left and right stomp now hits faster and also adds 50 venom buildup. His roar can be used at will. It's mostly annoying, not lethal, but it can interrupt your rhythm. The key to victory in Phase 4 is to down Axl as quickly as possible. The longer he thrashes around, the more likely it is you're gonna slip up and end up Spider Chow. Keep the pressure on Axl at every opening. Stun opportunities are still your best friend. Again, your goal is to finish this phase quickly. If you have a high damage weapon upgraded to +3 or higher, when you finally stun him, activate Frenzy and go all in. That's the secret to this phase. Do not stop attacking until he's dead. Don't worry about the backbuck attack. It's far more valuable to end this fight here and now. Strike the final blow and victory is yours. And that's Phase 4, Axl's final stand, chaos at its peak, and the moment where one slip can cost you everything. But with the right build, we're gonna knock out Axl fast, every single time, minimizing his threat and punishing the bugger hard. Every window of opportunity becomes a knockout, and that's what I'm gonna break down now. For the build, we want to maximize weak point damage. To accomplish this, we need to sport Ranger armor, as each piece increases our weak point damage by 5% for a combined total of a colossal 15%. That's the kind of buff that turns a boss into mulch. Right now, our best option is B armor. That is until you unlock Axl's armor. For our weapon, we're rocking the Pinch Whacker, plus the Bomb Buckler. The key to this fight is to stun Axl as fast as possible while dealing massive damage to his weak point in quick burst. This fan favorite weapon gives us the best of both worlds: incredibly high stun, high damage, and a respectably fast attack speed, allowing us to down Axl in record time and minimize our windows to dish out some truly wicked damage. If you don't have the Pinch Whacker, a Roach Club is a great second pick. As for our offhand, we're forced to block anyways, so why not take those blocks and turn them on the enemy? That's why the Bomb Buckler is perfect. For every perfect block, we deal 15 spicy damage and 25 sizzle buildup, allowing us to keep DPS on the boss at all times. How do you like the heat, big fella? Combine this setup with the trinket, the Blister Boiler, to cause the third hit of our combo to create an AoE effect that deals 15 spicy damage and increase enemy sizzle by 15 points. Combined with our shield, this is going to ensure the boss stays at maximum sizzle for the majority of the fight. You sweating now, you circus freak? For mutations, Club Master to increase our club's damage by a massive 20% and a godly 25% more stun at the mastery rank. Frenzy for a beefy 20% more damage while attacking with a club. For your last two slots, I highly recommend the following: Trapper Peeper, if you've got it, to give us an occasional massive spike of damage. Either Cardio Fan or Parry Master to keep our stamina up for extra DPS and to ensure we can dodge Axl's brutal stomps. Or you could go with more defensive options like Mithridatism for venom resistance, or Reliable Friend to ensure you can get your buggy up for tanking and maneuverability across the arena. Heads up though, this is the build that smashes Axl right now. As Grounded 2 evolves, new gear and mutations are gonna drop. The pillars don't change: high stun, rapid burst damage, and maximizing weak point hits. Any future build should hit those pillars, even if the gear swaps. That's how you dominate bosses without reinventing the wheel. Now top this build off with your consumables. At the start of the fight, a sticky liquid rage for 4 glorious minutes of plus 10% damage. Pop another one as soon as stage 4 starts to finish the fight as quickly as possible. And your meal, Larvania, for a beefy plus 20% weak point damage. Sticky Scorpido at the start of phase 3 for some much appreciated venom resistance. All combined and fully buffed, this gives us a game-shattering plus 45% damage on Axl's weak point. And since his wound already takes 4 times damage, that means we're dishing out punishment at a breathtaking 5.8 times damage multiplier, jumping even higher if we crit. The only funny thing here is how fast this clown's eating dirt. Axl goes down, and you've dominated Grounded 2's first park boss. So what'd you think, guys? Not bad for our first park boss, right? I hope for a little more mechanics. Those firecrackers in the background were just begging to be used. But I'm still really happy with what we got. If you think this guy's easy, then you better buckle in, because this is only the beginning. This is only the first of many, many bosses to come. By the way, if you feel like backing me while looking like a total badass, I've got a killer merch shop. Shirts, hoodies, mugs, signage, and more. Totally optional, just for the fans who roll hard. Now don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for sticking around. See you all next time.